leave of absence. As we draw to the close of the third session of the 11th Parliament, we need to offset all the pending business and take priority on the bills. I therefore urge all the chairpersons to ensure that the bills are completed and brought to the House for consideration. I want to thank all of you for coming and nice deliberations. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I appreciate your efforts to see that this Parliament exhibits its performance, and more so when it comes to processing of bills. Right Honorable Speaker, my worry is we have processed a number of bills, and I've also seen the order paper is full of a lot of bills, but even the bills we process, assenting to those bills becomes a big challenge. And even where bills have been assented to by the assenting authority, the ministers to come up with the regulations to effect the performance of these bills become a challenge. Right Honorable Speaker, in reference to Act of Parliament Act, section...
Which Act of Parliament Act? We don't have that law.
Right Honorable Speaker.
And first of all, Honorable Tevaneke, let's do what we ought to do. Let's do our job. Let's not take over some other responsibility which is not ours. Ours is legislation. Let's legislate, pass the bills. The assent is on executive. And the issue of bringing guidelines is on executive. We should not stop doing what we are supposed to do because the other people are not doing what they ought to do. Yes.
Honorable Speaker, as I appreciate that, kindly.
That is, I've already responded to you. Yes, Foreign Affairs.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, last year, Uganda's ambassador to Iran.
Are you responding to my communication?
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker. In the face of the current tensions between Iran and Israel, we have a number of Ugandan nationals who are in that region.
Is one of the bills talking about that?
Right Honorable Speaker, they have not received that advice.
Please sit. Bring it as a substantial item. Bring it tomorrow. Yes, Jonathan, not Jonah.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you very much. The point here is on the attendance of Parliament and for us to do our job as members of Parliament. For us, we have been here all the time attacking the absence of ministers. Today I see only 2 are here. We don't see the Attorney General. But even before we go to the ministers, look at our side, the opposition. We are not in Parliament. I think that's the question the Speaker is raising, that we must be in Parliament and attend the sessions and ensure that we do our part. When it goes to the President, that's another matter. Let us first do our part. I thank you.
Thank you, Panado.
No, but I'm a good citizen. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, mine is on assassination attempts on my boss Lop. Yesterday, I heard him saying that you see his life is at stake, it is in danger. Maybe there could be assassination attempts. He's my close, but I don't want to lose him. Maybe he can clarify on that, because we don't know. We don't know. My boss, he's my boss.
Who is your boss?
Lop.
So honorable members,
Assassination attempts is
Honorable members.
It is not a joke if someone says assassination.
Honorable members, let's not play to the gallery. Let's not play to the gallery. I am seeing a lot of things. If there is an assassination plan, go and report to police. Who can assassinate a person? For what? Of what value are you? What? Let's not play to the gallery. Anyway, if that was talked in the bar, maybe some people are taking something. But I am saying, for me, those are things that should not even come here, because we don't assassinate people. We do not assassinate people. Nobody is of a value that we want to assassinate anybody. And stop playing to the gallery. Next item. Next item.
Item 3, laying of papers. Report of the Uganda Parliamentary Delegation to the 13th edition of the East African Interparliamentary Games 2023, Kigali, Rwanda.
Honorable members, yesterday I undertook to accord the chairperson of Parliamentary Sports Club, Honorable Asuman Basalira, MP of Bugiri Municipality, an opportunity to table the Ugandan Parliamentary Delegation to the 13th edition of the East African Interparliamentary Games held in Kigali, Rwanda. Honorable Basalira will present a report today, and then Honorable Mojiche Francis also will be given time to present a report from the disciplinary committee of what happened in South Sudan. And that is after they have finished with the report, because he's a member of the disciplinary committee. So we shall give you time to present a report on the disciplinary committee. Yes, Honorable Basalira.
Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank you so much for the opportunity. And colleagues, I only hope that our technical team should have made this report available to colleagues this morning, so that as I make a presentation, which will be a summarized version, colleagues can be able to follow on their gadgets. Right Honourable Speaker, the East African Legislative Assembly started the Interparliamentary Games in 2009 as an annual activity of the regional parliaments and the member national legislatures. The Games are important in fostering relations among member states in line with Article 49, Clause 2, Paragraph A of the Treaty for the establishment of the East African Community. Right Honourable Speaker, IALA, which coordinates the Games, organized the 13th edition of the Interparliamentary Games, which were hosted by Parliament of Rwanda in Kigali from 8th to 19th December 2023, under the theme for a progressive, peaceful, and all-inclusive East African community. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to emphasize here that every year these games are held under a certain theme. And for last year, the theme was for a progressive, peaceful, and all-inclusive East African community. Right Honourable Speaker, the following parliaments of partner states participated in the 13th edition of these games. We had the East African Legislative Assembly, which is always the coordinator and organizer, the Parliament of Rwanda, which was the host, Parliament of Burundi, National Assembly of Kenya, National Assembly of Tanzania, the Transitional National Legislative Assembly of South Sudan, and the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. Right Honourable Speaker, unlike other previous editions, All the teams strictly this time comprised of members of parliament. The Bureau of Speakers, however, in their last meeting, tasked the Joint Planning Committee with reviewing the decision after the tournament. Right on, Speaker, you recall that we had issues in Arusha. We also had issues in Juba regarding eligibility. So a decision was taken that moving forward, only MPs participate in these games. And we hope that the decision will either be maintained or will be reviewed by you, the Bureau of Speakers. Right on, Speaker, I'll turn to page 5. That is 4.1. Right on, Speaker, following a resolution of the 16th Bureau of Speakers of Parliament, it provided that 2 members of Parliament and staff should serve on the Independent Competitions and Disciplinary Committee during the games, with the aim of managing the games and resolving disputes. I am glad, Right on, Speaker, that you'll be giving one of the members of the Disciplinary Committee an opportunity to throw some light on their assignments that you gave them as Bureau of Speakers. Right on, Speaker, I'll go to page 6, particularly 5.0. Right on, Speaker, I want to emphasize that Team Uganda started preparations for the 13th edition of the Interparliamentary Games as early as January 2023. Right on, Speaker, I also want to mention that for purposes of this edition, some of the disciplines have already begun training. In fact, some disciplines began training as early as January this year and are already engaged in some friendly competitions. I know basketball, and the captain, Honorable Mwinempaka, is there. They've been engaged in some competitions, and I also know that in football, they've been engaged in some competitions. So already preparations for this year's edition for some disciplines have already begun, even volleyball. Yes, even volleyball. Although officially, Right on, Speaker, we are yet to formally communicate. Right on, Speaker, after several training sessions and friendly matches, discipline coaches and captains, as directed by you, the patron, generated and submitted lists of their respective teams comprising of only members that were to represent Parliament of Uganda at the Games. The selection was done based on competencies and needs identified by both the coaches and captains. Again, Right on, Speaker, I want to emphasize that there is always a tendency for some colleagues to come to the chairman or the manager seeking to be included in squads. That responsibility, Right on, Speaker, was assigned to the coaches. So if anybody wants to represent Team Uganda in any discipline, they must satisfy the coaches. And since these coaches have contracts of Parliament, when they don't perform, at least the Commission can take decisions against them. So it is also important for colleagues to understand that you can only be included on the team to represent Parliament of Uganda only and only if your performance is to the satisfaction of the coaches in conjunction with the captains. Right on, Speaker, we want to thank you and the Parliamentary Commission. This time around, uniforms and track suits were procured, they were distributed, and they were indeed up to quality, and we were very smart. And I think those who were in Kigali can attest to this. We want to thank Parliamentary Commission. I can see the commissioners here, Honorable Serwanyi, Honorable Afoyo Chan, and you, who is the chairperson of the commission. We are really very grateful, Right on, Speaker, that this time around the quality and smartness was up there. Results. Right on, Speaker, most games and disciplines were played using the league format as resolved by the Bureau of Speakers and the Joint Planning Committee. Athletics. Right on, Speaker, 7 teams comprising of members of Parliament from Yala, Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda participated in the 2-day athletics competition at Nyamata Stadium in Bugesera district, about 30 kilometers from the city of Kigali. This competition was held on Monday, 11th December 2023, and on Saturday, 16th December 2023. The races were 100 meters, men and women, 4 by 100, women and men, 200 meters, women and men, 400 meters, women and men, 400 by 4, women and men, 800 meters, women and men, 1,500 meters, women and men, 1,600 meters walking race for women and men. Individual results in athletics. Right on, Speaker, I have the honor to report that the different races under the different categories were won as follows. 100 meters women. Overall, number 1, the Honorable Achom Joan Alobo from Uganda, and the gold. I saw her around. Yes. Thank you very much, and thank you for representing us. Number 2.
Congratulations, Joan.
The Honorable Auma Helen Wandera from Uganda. She won silver in that category.
Congratulations.
And bronze went to another country. But I want to emphasize that we were the best in that category. Number 1 and number 2. 100 meters men. Number 1, the Honorable Odoi Bernard Onen from Uganda won gold. Number 2 and 3 came from another country, so I will not mention them. 200 meters women. I'm only mentioning where we won. 200 meters women. Number 1, the Honorable Achom Joan Alobo from Uganda won gold. We want to thank you. Number 2, the Honorable Taka Agnes Mayuma MP Bujiri won silver from Uganda.
Thank you, Kongs.
Bujiri continues to shine, right on, Speaker. 200 meters men. 200 meters men, right on, Speaker. The Honorable Ochan Patrick from Uganda won bronze.
Thank you. Congratulations.
No, 1 gold, sorry. 1 gold. The Honorable Chan Patrick from Uganda, 1 gold.
Why have you put bronze?
No, it is a typing error. Must be a typing error. Uganda, 200 meters men. 400 meters women. 200 meters women, right on, Speaker, we took 3rd position this time round. The Honorable Mugabe Susan from Uganda earned us a bronze medal. We want to congratulate her from Buvuma.
Congratulations.
400 meters men, right on, Speaker. Number 1, the Honorable Secretary Robert from Uganda won gold.
Thanks.
Number 2, 400 meters men, the Honorable Odoi Bernard Onen from Uganda won silver.
Bernard Kongs.
800 meters women, right on, Speaker, we took the 2nd and 3rd positions. In 2nd position was Honorable Akelo Christine from Uganda, won silver.
Akelo, please stand up. She's there. Kongs.
And the Honorable Auma Helen Wandera from Uganda won bronze.
Mama Busia, congratulations.
800 meters men, right on, Speaker, we took the 3rd position. The Honorable Achon Julius from Uganda, who won bronze.
A medalist.
Yes. Right on, Speaker, 1,500 meters women, we took the 2nd and 3rd positions. The Honorable Akelo Christine from Uganda won gold. The 1st position won gold, yes. And the Honorable Helen Wandera Auma from Uganda won bronze in 1,500 meters. Right on, Speaker, 1,500 meters in men. The Honorable Achon Julius from Uganda won gold. 1,600 meters, right on, Speaker. This is a walking race. Women MPs, defending champion again. Honorable Akelo Christine from Uganda won gold.
Thanks.
Defending champion. The Honorable Abeja Susan from Uganda won silver.
Congratulations.
1,600 meters walking race, men. Right on Speaker, we took the second and third positions. The Honorable Ochan Patrick from Uganda won silver, and the Honorable Taylor John from Uganda won bronze. Right on Speaker, the results for the respective team races under each category are shown below. I think we can look at the screens and get the summary. Trophies, Right on Speaker. Obtained after considering the performance of both the men and women athletics teams. The overall athletics champion was not one of the categories for award in this edition. Points were awarded for each category as per the number of participating teams, which was 6 as below. And Right on Speaker, I just want to get to the table down and to emphasize that in athletics, women, Uganda was overall with a number of 18 medals in athletics in women.
Thank you.
And Right on Speaker, athletics men, Uganda was overall with a total of 18 medals for athletics men. Right on Speaker, we'll go to tug of war, page 13. The teams comprising of members of Parliament participated in the two-day tug of war competition at IPRC Kichukiro, Kigali on Monday, 11th December and 16th December. The team performance in tug of war for each of the categories is shown as below, Right on Speaker. And the table indicates the scores. Right on Speaker, we want to emphasize that in that table, as you can see, we can go to page 14 to indicate as follows. On page 14, tug of war women, the standings. The gold, silver, and bronze medals were awarded as follows. The second runners-up of bronze in tug of war women was Team Uganda, Right on Speaker. Tug of war men, Right on Speaker, on page 15. Page 15, tug of war men. The points scored per team is as follows. In that table on page 15, Right on Speaker, the points we obtained were 4 points, and we took the 4th position in that respective discipline of tug of war, Right on Speaker. Right on Speaker, that's team performances for each of the categories in that, and for emphasis purposes, Right on Speaker, you as the Bureau of Speakers decided that tug of war is one of the disciplines that will be played by colleagues with disabilities. So this is a game, this is a game specifically for colleagues in that category. And in that, Right on Speaker, on page 16.
Honorable Lumumba promised to be here at 8:30. You're welcome. She has kept time.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I came early, but I had to go and attend to an issue, but Mia Maxima.
Amina. It is only Catholics who can understand that.
Yes, it means apologies, 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 and 1,000 apologies. So with the Catholics, know it well. Right on Speaker, on page on page 16, Right on Speaker, the tables for darts women are indicated as follows. Number 2 on that table, Right on Speaker, the Honorable Ababiku Jessica emerged as number 2, Team Uganda in darts.
Thank you.
And we had, Right on Speaker, darts wheelchair women. And the Honorable Kanushu Laura emerged as number 2 of all the participating teams in that category.
Congrats, Laura.
Right Honourable Speaker, that's men. The Honorable Balimwezo Ronald Nsubuga from Uganda was number 2 overall. And Right Honourable Speaker, the first runners-up in that category was the Honorable Mpindi Bumali, who obtained a silver. Right Honourable Speaker, we go to golf, page 18, golf ladies. Right Honourable Speaker, golf attracted participation of 3 ladies teams, namely Kenya, South Sudan, and Uganda. The points scored by each team are indicated below. Right Honourable Speaker, gold, silver, and bronze medals for golf women's category were awarded as follows. Best ladies team that won a gold medal is Team Uganda, Right Honourable Speaker. Golf men, Right Honourable Speaker, the medals in that category of golf were awarded as follows. The best men's team, gold, is Team Uganda. And Right Honourable Speaker, I want to mention specifically here that the Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, the Honourable Thomas Taibwa, played a key role as an international golfer in ensuring that we emerge number 1 in this category.
Thank you.
Right Honourable Speaker, this
He was
category...
actually the best golfer.
Yes, in this category...
Can't you clap for the deputy? And congratulations.
Yes. In this category, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to mention that there is also what they call individual performance accolades in terms of longest drive. And I want to mention that in terms of longest drive in golf, the Honourable Arion Odria, Team Uganda, was number 1.
Congratulations, Honorable Dria.
Yes. And the longest drive, ladies, Honorable Kamusime Caroline, Team Uganda, emerged the best, Right Honourable Speaker.
Congrats.
And Right Honourable Speaker, in that category of points scored, best golfer in ladies, the Honorable Ariek Judith, Team Uganda, got 78 points. And overall winner in that category, the Honorable Naebale Sylvia, Team Uganda, with 78 points. Yes, yes. The nearest to the pin, Right Honourable Speaker, the Honorable Mbabazi Jennifer, Team Uganda. Nearest to the pin, the Honorable Mbabazi Jennifer, yes. Basketball, Right Honourable Speaker. 5 teams, namely Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda, participated in basketball women's category. The scores for the matches played are shown as below, Right Honourable Speaker, but I want to emphasize the rankings for the different disciplines overall. And I want to mention, Right Honourable Speaker, that when you look at page 22, the best in women basketball was Tanzania, and Uganda was first runners-up with the silver in basketball women. Right Honourable Speaker, basketball men, 6 teams performed or participated in this category. The scores are indicated on that table. For purposes of the report, I want to go to page 22, Right Honourable Speaker, and observe that men basketball, Team Uganda emerged the winner with a gold medal in basketball. We want to thank them. We want to congratulate them. Volleyball, Right Honourable Speaker, on page 23, volleyball women, 5 teams performed or participated in the women's volleyball category, and the scores are indicated in that table. For purposes of positions and awards, I want to refer you to page 24 and observe that volleyball women overall, Team Uganda were champions with the gold medal in women's volleyball. In volleyball men, Right Honourable Speaker, 6 teams participated in the tournament. And I want to refer you, Right Honourable Speaker, to page 26 and observe that overall in that category, we were nowhere to be seen because bronze, silver, and gold were taken by some other countries that I don't want to put on record. Netball, Right Honourable Speaker. Netball, Right Honourable Speaker, 5 teams participated in the netball, including Burundi, Kenya, Tanzania, South Sudan, and Uganda. The scores are indicated in that table, Right Honourable Speaker, on page 26. But for purposes of awards, I want to mention, Right Honourable Speaker, that in netball, Team Uganda were first runners-up with silver. We want to congratulate them. Football, Right Honourable Speaker, 6 teams participated in the Football League: Yala, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, and Uganda. Right Honourable Speaker, we want to emphasize on page 28 the following awards. First of all, Right Honourable Speaker, for purposes of team football, the tables are very clear and the points. On page 29, we want to emphasize that Team Uganda in football were overall champions and won a gold medal in football. Right Honourable Speaker.
Congratulations, Uganda.
Yes, and there were 2 records that were made, Right Honourable Speaker. The Honourable Masaba Karim was top scorer in that tournament with 15 goals. I saw him around. We want to thank him. And 2, Right Honourable Speaker, Team Uganda also set a new record for scoring the highest number of goals in a tournament for purposes of football. Right Honourable Speaker, we want to, team football, Right Honourable Speaker, for your information, the captain is the Honourable Hashim Magogo for team football. Just for purposes of emphasis and clarity, and for avoidance of doubt. So we want to thank
the Budiope East.
Yes, and Right Honourable Speaker, we want to also mention that you are the patron of Parliamentary Sports Club. And Honourable Magogo is the captain, Parliamentary Football Club.
And the Honourable Asumani is the permanent chairperson.
Is the chairman of this field. Right Honourable Speaker, briefly, I want us to walk through these challenges that were identified. The following challenges, Right Honourable Speaker, were identified.
Honourable Kasule has an issue.
Yes.
Right, Honourable. I just became so happy when I saw people who are from Busoga attached to the kingdom of Busoga taking lead in this. I just felt proud.
She's just happy for the Chabazinga and Inebantu.
I hadn't observed that, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you, Right Honourable Lumumba, for mentioning it. I was not aware, actually. Right Honourable Speaker, failure by the Joint Planning Committee to divest itself of the mandate to run and manage the games was a challenge. The walking race had officiating challenges because Rwanda had not trained umpires to officiate the walking race. We hope it will be better. Non-adherence to the rules by some teams causing inconvenience. Right Honourable Speaker, at one time, Team South Sudan declined to play Team Uganda on account that the Honourable Masaba was not an MP, the Honourable Nsubugapo was not an MP, that they were too young to be MPs. the Honorable Gwang, the fact they said Honorable Gwang
Actually,
has
Honorable
never
Gwang
been,
was not a,
it was not even near Parliament. So that game was actually called off. And we showed them every document, and they said no, and we had to play that game at the last minute. Then obviously, there were no resting benches for persons with disabilities who were participating in that. The restriction of the tournament, right on speaker, to only members of parliament affected some teams, such as Rwanda and Yala, and they ended up withdrawing from the games. Right on speaker, the costs for each golf player were significantly higher than what was planned. This is an issue that needs to be addressed. Then right on speaker, the long distances between the different venues was also another challenge that was highlighted. Appreciation. Right on speaker, as you have observed, Team Uganda performed exceptionally well. In fact, for avoidance of doubt, Team Uganda was selected as the best overall team in that tournament.
Thank you and congratulations, Team Uganda.
We therefore want to thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and the patron of the club, the Parliamentary Commission, and the clerk for ensuring that Team Uganda travelled and took part in the games. Right Honourable Speaker, we also want to thank the Deputy Speaker who successfully led the teams to Kigali. He was not only a leader, but he strongly participated in competing in the different disciplines and sharing the different disciplines. In fact, Right Honourable Speaker, the Deputy Speaker would play golf and then go to all pitches to cheer the different teams that we are playing. We want to thank him so much. He was a very big inspiration during the tournament, and he remained our #1 fan. We also want, in a special way, Right Honourable Speaker, to thank the Leader of Opposition Emeritus, the Right Honourable Matthias Impuga, who made it to Kigali and offered support, and also found time to visit different teams. Each time we see our leaders, Right Honourable Speaker, we are greatly inspired and we want to appreciate them. Lastly, Right Honourable Speaker, the preparations and success of these games would not have been possible without the staff who formed part of the Yala Games Secretariat. This staff performed almost all the core activities, protocol, organization, and management, and we want to thank them so much, and we are greatly indebted to them. Right Honourable Speaker, in a special way, I want to thank and recognize the coaches that have been coaching us and continue to coach us. I'm aware that some are here. Coach Tom Luanga is over there for football. Coach Sadiq Wasa, the legendary Sadiq Wasa, yes, is over there. And our other coaches, Coach Bob, I'm talking about those I am seeing. Yes, our doctor, Tumwesije, is over there. We received apologies, Right Honourable Speaker, for the other coaches who are not here because somehow the information was at short notice. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, we want also in a special way to thank the members of Parliament for the teamwork that was exhibited and solidarity. Right Honourable Speaker, what used to happen in Kigali is that if there was a football game and other disciplines were not playing, everybody would be cheering the football team. And if there was a basketball game and other people were not playing, they would be at the basketball courts. And the same happened for all the disciplines. Colleagues, we want to thank you so much for the solidarity, for the teamwork. It is that solidarity and teamwork that made us successful. At this point in time, Right Honourable Speaker, I have to take the honor to present and lay on table the different trophies that were won by the different disciplines for purposes of record. Right Honourable Speaker, this trophy here was awarded to Team Uganda for their overall performance as athletics trophy winner for the women. I beg to lay.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Right on, Speaker. This trophy here was awarded to Team Uganda for golf trophy best men. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Congratulations.
This trophy here, right on, Speaker, was awarded to Team Uganda football trophy overall winner. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Congratulations.
This trophy here, right on, Speaker, was awarded to best basketball trophy winner men. I beg to lay.
Congratulations.
This trophy here, right on, Speaker, was awarded to best golf trophy best women, Team Uganda.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Right on, Speaker, this trophy is volleyball trophy women winner. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
Right on, Speaker, this trophy is athletics trophy winner men. I beg to lay. Right on, Speaker, I also want to report that the individual medals were actually awarded and taken by the individual winners. And we didn't have time. I had requested the individual winners to come.
Honorable Chon, we congratulated you while you are away.
Yes, right on,
Even
Speaker.
Robert.
Is the captain.
Robert also here, we congratulated
Yes,
you.
Honorable Robert Sectorico. We had wanted these individual winners to come wearing their medals, but it was really short notice. But we want to confirm that they received their medals and they actually have them. And maybe at an appropriate time, there will be a function where they will put those medals on. Right on, Speaker, as I conclude, there are two things. Number one, I am aware that some disciplines have begun training. We want to thank you, Right on, Speaker, that now the coaches are staff of Parliament and they are now engaged in training exercises. So please, it is better we begin early, and I'm sure the coaches are there. Finally, Right on, Speaker, I want to thank you and the team and the teams for the participation. Thank you very much for God and my country.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Chairman. And thank you, Team Uganda, for winning all the medals, all the trophies. We'll take all the trophies and deposit them in the parliamentary documents and archives for its reference. We'll have all our trophies kept there. Nobody will take them away for reference. But on a special note, I want first of all to thank the team for the discipline that you had while in Kigali. I got a report. Uganda was the most disciplined team. I want to thank the team. I also want to thank the Deputy Speaker who joined you and the former LOP. Deputy Speaker and the former LOP who joined you in Kigali and made sure that you came back with the trophies, and all the persons that participated for Team Uganda. I want to congratulate you and thank you so much. I know we made a commitment because there was an increment of some days which we made a commitment to it, and we shall make good of it in these coming games. We will add those days which you spent with my permission. So we'll do that. So we want to thank you, and we will continue appropriating money for these games. And basically, the games are for deepening, widening, and tightening the East African community. So we'll always do that. And I'm surprised, Matchbox, why have you gotten out of this? You used to be a very good runner. So
Right Honorable, thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, due to my other health reasons, I would not run because I had an operation. But I promise this time, you know me as usual. Among the gold medals, I will bring the medal for Team Uganda.
So I want to
Congratulations.
thank you, Chairman. Thank you so much for leading the team and players and even the cheermasters. I want to thank you so much and thank Parliament of Uganda and most especially thank the President for accepting to give us the money for that activity. Because he could as well say we are not giving you the money, but he's the one who has accepted for us to be able to promote the East African community. Thank you. Next item.
Item 4, Bill's second reading.
There is a government wants a word.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members. Members, on behalf of the NRM government, I want to congratulate you as Parliament for the exemplary performance you put up to market Uganda within East Africa and beyond. I also want to thank you in a special way, Right Honorable Speaker, and the leadership of Parliament for promoting games in this institution, because it is a unifying factor where we forget all our differences and our pressures in constituencies and come to put together efforts to make sure we work as a team. That unifying spirit, we should keep it because it's important. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, when I heard the chairperson saying that there are those who were rejected because they looked not of age, but yet our age according to the Constitution is 18 years. I think let's take it as a positive issue, because when you go and do exercise as you practice to be able to go and win, it means that people are improving in terms of health, that they even look younger than their age. We should take it as a serious issue and make sure more and more join to continue looking young so that you remain healthy to serve Uganda better. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much, government. And Honorable Bahati brought some message to my attention, which I am happy that I'm not on social media because I don't want stress. Honorable members, there was something that was written on social media on issues circulating that yesterday I backed at Honorable Bahati as being one of the worst ministers, incapable of running a ministry of trade. That's why traders are striking. And this is very false, very untrue, and too malicious. I want to instruct UCC to investigate this, and I want to get the sponsors of this. There are people who are taking the use of social media, monopolizing the use of social media to destroy other people. Honorable Bahati is one minister who is permanently here, a very active minister. And how can you attack such a minister? How? I think there is a problem in this country. There is misuse of social media. How can you? I think you people need prayers. How can you start abusing social media to that extent? You attack, you say Bahati was attacked? Honorable Bahati, we shall need a report on the striking traders. Yes. Do you have the report now? As we wait for the report to be uploaded, we will start on other business. They're uploading the report, and I want us to look at that report exhaustively. Next item. Social media, leave those ones. I think that's where they earn from. Next item.
Bills.
And I am going to bring people to book. I am going to bring people to book. I think they don't know whom they are dealing with. Next item. How much? Betty. Honorable.
Madam Speaker.
I was.
Madam Speaker, you have gone on record here that you are not on social media. I am, and there is a handle attributed to your name. There is a social media handle, especially on Twitter.
First, hold. What is wrong with that?
I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know, I just thought I'd bring it to your attention. Let me just raise the item.
You go. Go and sit. Next item, Honorable Mpaka.
Item 4, Bill second reading. 4.3, the Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities is going to move of trade, industries and cooperative will move a motion to that effect. We have a number of bills. How many? 4? Under trade? 3. Honorable members, and they are very small bills. Can we agree that he moves a motion for all the 3 bills? The chair will give us reports for all the bills we debate. Then we go to committee stage one by one. If it doesn't offend the Honorable Jonah.
Right Honorable Speaker, before we start debating these bills, I wanted to implore your chair to give this House at least ample time to discuss the principle of rationalization without looking at any particular bill, because this is a major policy shift by government. So if it pleases you, maybe an hour or 2 where the House can just deliberate on the principle of rationalization as defined by government. If we did that and we come to a conclusion that this is a policy shift acceptable to this House, or if we oppose it, it would help us when we go to the bills to process the bills and dispose even within very few minutes. So I wanted to implore you that before we even start looking at individual bills that have been laid, we first discuss the principles around this, so that we don't regret. If we exhaustively discuss, we shall not.
Government. All the boys from a match.
And me and Honorable Dur, we share a constituency. In fact, if he decides to put a roadblock, I need a very brave and strong contingent to access my constituency, but that is for another day. Right Honorable Speaker, you recall that at first government delivered to Parliament the bills where Parliament decided that we unpack them. And when the Ministry of Public Service was in charge of the omnibus bill, we explained why rationalization. The intended role of rationalization is not to bring about unemployment, honorable colleagues. The intended role of rationalization is to make government ministries, departments, and agencies more efficient by bringing all entities together under ministries, departments, and agencies of government. And this was explained. And how it is going to be done, a clear example was rare. Of course, you know the transitional period led to some delays. But when the minister was here, he explained that all engineers who were under REA are all now incorporated under the Ministry of Energy. Now, the other cadres, for instance, accountants, who are normally nominated and posted by Ministry of Finance, will go back. For the lawyers, they will go back to the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General's chambers. And that is the essence. Now, for those who may not meet the required qualifications for these particular jobs, those are the people where government will plan to compensate them. But in a nutshell, all these people that are going to be mainstream will be under the salaries of our mainstream civil service or public service. So that is the essence of rationalization in a nutshell. And we have explained this. So each and every minister will now come to explain, are we going, because there are acts that will be repealed. There are acts that will be amended in order for us to accommodate the shift. So, Right Honorable Speaker, in the circumstances, I would persuade my brother and neighbor, Honorable Odur, that we allow ministries to proceed with the bills that Parliament advised should be unpacked, and we handle them one at a time. But I also want to agree with you, because the way you have guided does not offend any rule, for the minister to move that all bills under this ministry be presented, then we debate, then we move to committee stage and handle them one at a time. That would give us time to proceed very, very fast at the speed of this Parliament under your chair. So, Honorable Du, may I kindly persuade you, my neighbor, that we proceed as guided. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, when this issue of RAPEX came up, this House formed a select committee. And the select committee was chaired by none other than one of the elders in this House. That is Honorable Nathan. And could we hear from Honorable Nathan? Nathan Bianyima, not Nandala.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Yes, I agree with you that a committee was set up, 9-man committee, member committee. We did a thorough job, and we are convinced that rationalization is a good process, policy shift, but not for all the agencies that were brought to this House. We had thought that we would get time for this House to debate the report. Unfortunately, it was not debated. But what I did,
but we adopted it.
We adopted, yes. But I requested the chairpersons, as they consider these individual bills, to look at the report, so they can be guided by our report, which we did. But incidentally, I can see a lot of pressure from the ministers to take the other position. But I'm comfortable that this House is honorable enough to take a decision by looking at each agency in its own merit and demerits. But I want to say that we don't need to rush like we rushed during the investiture of enterprise of this country. We are now going back. So I would want this House to really look at these agencies critically, to avoid just like a stopgap somewhere where we shall not have services continuing to be delivered to them. Like REA, yes, and many others. And
REA was not a formation of this House.
the most important issue is, even if you think of it, have some funds available so that the people you don't want to continue with your lean agencies, so that people can get their money and look for somewhere else for their rights.
Thank you.
But currently, the
Honorable members, I still advised that all the committees should look at the Committee of Parliament, which I believe the chairpersons of committees have had a look at when they are considering the bills. Because when you look at what we approved as Parliament, about 70% were in agreement. There are some of these redundant agencies that really need to be taken back to the ministry. They need to be taken back to the ministry. But there are those that this House will have to make a decision. You will have to make a decision. If you cannot make a decision by ayes, we shall vote. Okay? Yes, Jonah.
Right Honorable Speaker, I have no intention of blocking any process here, but there are 4 key elements explained by government, not properly, that I thought this House should understand. Rationalization, according to government, means merger, means mainstreaming, means transfer, also means winding up.
Repeal.
Those are very 4 key policy positions that must be explained, so that when the House adopts and said we are mainstreaming, we actually understand what mainstreaming is. If they are saying they are going to merge,
it's a procedure matter.
Madam Speaker, these are not the first bills we are going to repeal. If you may recall, we have already repealed some bills under the rationalization perspective. Now, Madam Speaker, Honorable Odur is trying to reopen a general debate which has been overtaken by the events. Are we proceeding very well for Honorable Odur to take us to a process that has already been overtaken by events? Are we proceeding well?
Honorable members, we already handled the library and archives. We handled in ITU, which this House rejected. We are now on the 3rd bill. So I think what we do, let's move on. Where you reject, like I've already heard people talk. So let's. Honorable Dur, thank you for accepting. In the public gallery this morning, we have students from Kitara Students Association of Kampala International University, Kampala campus, and they are represented by Honorable Naluima Betty Ethel and Honorable Nyeko Derrick. You're most welcome. Please stand up. Plus Honorable Malende Shami of Kampala, not Ethel. Then we have in the public gallery this morning students from UCHAN International School in Entebbe. They are represented by Honorable Naluima Betty Ethel and Honorable Kakembo Mbwa. Michael, you're most welcome. Please stand up. Join me in welcoming them. And thank you so much for coming to Parliament. Next.
Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, I beg to move that the bills entitled the Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024, the Uganda Export Promotions Board Act Repeal Bill 2024, and the Free Zones Amendment Bill
Honorable.
2024 be read the second time.
Read for me the bill, Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024, be read for the second time, and I'll put a question. The second one.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Thank you. Is the bill seconded? Seconded by Honorable Silwanyi, Afoyo Chan, Afande. You know, I don't know the titles, by the professor, by government chief, by the whole house, with the exception of Odur. Would you love to speak to your motion?
Madam Speaker, the rationale for moving this bill is to rationalize government agencies, to streamline our systems, to bring efficiency and effectiveness in the operations of government. And warehouse receipt system, by coming back to the ministry, will be increasing that efficiency that all of us are looking for. And that's the reason why we are rationalizing this. I beg to move.
Thank you. Can we go to the next one?
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Uganda Export Promotions Board Act Repeal Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Seconded. Is the bill seconded by Peter Solomon Wandrasi, by Isaac, by Melissa, by Matchbox, are you seconding? Because I'm seeing you on phone. By Hoima, by Honorable Chinobere, by Richard Budaka. I've seen Budaka, by Boka. Would you allow to speak to it?
Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, we set out a policy of import substitution and export promotion. We have an aim of increasing our exports from currently 6 billion to 10 billion in the next 10 years. And for us to do this, we need to organize our export efforts. And the reason for repealing this is to combine the Export Promotion Board with the Free Zones Board, which I'm going to move in a few minutes, to increase our exports. I beg to move.
Thank you. Next.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Free Zones Amendment Bill 2024 be read the second time.
Is the bill seconded by the government chief whip, by Awasi, by Matchbox, by Minister of Health, Lower Affairs, Elders, Sanoni, Aru, Alebtong, Occult, Legal. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Would you love to speak to that bill?
Madam Speaker, as I said a few minutes ago, we are merging the Uganda Export Promotions Board with the free zones to be able to increase our exports, to organize
I am
our effort.
withdrawing the Minister of Luero from being a seconder because they don't have votes. They don't have voting powers. Okay, go ahead.
So when the two institutions are merged, we believe that we'll be streamlining the effort of promoting exports in our country. The free zones play an important role in building our export capacity. But we have been running two institutions, the Uganda Export Promotion Board and the free zones. So the purpose for this mainstreaming is to combine the two institutions so that we work together. We work on the synergies between the institutions to promote our exports. And I think once Parliament gives us this support that we need, we'll be able to grow our exports in the next few years from 6 billion to 10 billion. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, can you make a presentation of your reports?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Report of the Sectoral Committee on Tourism, Trade, Industry on the Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay...
You're starting with which one?
Warehouse Receipt System.
Yes.
I beg to lay the minutes and the report of the committee. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024 was read for the first time on Thursday, 4th April 2024, in accordance with Rule 129(1) and the Rules of Procedure of the 11th Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, and was referred to the Sectoral Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industry for scrutiny. The committee scrutinized the bill in accordance with Rule 129(2) of the Rules of Procedure and hereby reports to this House in accordance with Rule 132 of the same rules. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I don't know if I need to read the background for the rationalization because it is more or less the same for every bill. Allow me to go to page 4. The remedies proposed in the bill. The object of the bill is to amend Warehouse Receipt System Act 2006 to enable the mainstreaming and rationalization of the functions of the Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority into the Ministry responsible for trade, thereby inter alia relieving the government of financial drain on its resources and the burden of wasteful administration and expenditure. 2, to facilitate efficient and effective service delivery by clearly delineating the mandates and functions of government agencies and departments in the performance of the functions of warehouse receipts, thereby avoiding duplication of mandates and functions. 3, promote coordinated administrative arrangements, policies and procedures. 4, ensuring the efficient and successful management, financial accounting and budgetary discipline of government agencies and departments. 2, enabling the government to play its role more efficiently and enforcing accountability. And lastly, to restructure and reorganize agencies and departments of government by eliminating bloated structures and functional ambiguities. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, allow me to go to the findings on page 6. Findings, observations of the committee. Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority was established by an Act of Parliament, the Warehouse Receipt System Act 2006, Section 3, which was assented to by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda on 24th May 2005. Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority is a subvention of Vote 015, Ministry of Trade, Industry and Comparatives. Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority has been proposed to be mainstreamed with its mother ministry. Therefore, it's going to become a department under the ministry responsible for trade. Section 4 of the Warehouse Receipt System Act 2005 mandates Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority to carry out the following functions: A, to license warehouses; B, to license warehouse keepers; C, to license warehouse inspectors; D, to issue negotiable warehouse receipt books; and lastly, to carry out and perform such other functions as are conferred or imposed on it by the Act or regulations made under this Act. The recommended structure, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, on F, you can see they are now going to make it a department of warehouse receipt system under the ministry. Notwithstanding Section 16 of the Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority on funds of the authority, the committee noted that the aforementioned section 3, 4, 7, 12, and 14 bear significant wage and non-wage implications on the economy, as government has no finance for operations of the authority. Below is the table of the budget performance of the warehouse receipt system for the financial year 2019, 2020, 2022, 2023. From the above table, budget allocations to Uganda warehouse receipt system has been increased over time from UGX 3.399 billion in the financial year 2019-2020 to 15.067 billion, primarily on the wage bill, board expenses, and the procurement of capital-related items like way bridges and construction of warehouses. The above annual budget allocation suggests withdrawal of funds from the consolidated fund. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, page 8, notable inefficiency of Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority under the current governance structures. Despite the enactment of Uganda Warehouse Receipt System in Act in 2006, which created the Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority 15 years ago, the authority has only licensed 4 warehouses according to the committee, even where the targets are not clear and specific. This performance is under the current governance arrangement and could be rated as poor and below average. The committee noted that the following areas of concern relating to operations of Uganda Warehouse Receipt System: 1, deliberately overstepping its mandate by acting as an implementer and a regulator at the same time. They are now constructing warehouses which is beyond their mandate. 2, poor absorption of funds allocated, continued utilization of funds in excess of parliamentary appropriations, and persistent carryover of funds across financial years without authorization are indications of a poorly governed institution. For instance, in the end of financial year 2021-22, the authority did not transfer 4.87 billion into the consolidated fund. Similarly, in the financial year 22-23, the authority did not transfer 8.7 billion to the consolidated fund. Instead, utilized it in the financial year 2022-23 without authorization. The Auditor General reports financial year 2020-21 and 2022-23. The authority had 8.78 billion as an unspent balance from the prior financial year 21-22, and that was subsequently included by management as part of the funds available for spending in the financial year under review 2022-23. The above several financial irregularities, among others, are cited by the Auditor General, such as inefficiencies of the board in providing supervision and oversight to the institution. Right, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, by mainstreaming warehouse receipt system, we are going to save 12.427 billion. From the above, from the foregoing, the committee makes the following observations: that there would be no costs accruing to government as a result of mainstreaming Uganda warehouse receipt system into the ministry responsible for trade. 2, that the bill addresses mischief and intends to improve market efficiency and mitigates risk because it will be easier for farmers and traders to access credit using their stored agricultural commodities as collateral, leading to more efficient allocation of resources in agricultural markets, reducing transactional costs and improving market liquidity. 3, the mainstreaming of Uganda warehouse receipt system into the ministry responsible for trade would attract further investment in the agriculture sector by providing assurances to financiers that there are mechanisms in place to mitigate risks associated with lending to farmers and traders.
Honorable members, kindly come in. I need the number before you go out, because we are going for the second reading. Can I have all the members in? Yes.
Other implications of mainstreaming the roles and functions of Uganda warehouse receipt system into the ministry responsible for trade. During the meeting the committee held with the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives on the same, the minister assured the committee that the functions of the Uganda warehouse receipt system as enshrined in the Warehouse Receipt System Act 2006 would be retained, but that these shall be executed under specialized department tenable at the ministry responsible for trade under the supervision of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives. In another meeting of the committee, the minister responsible for public service buttressed that the mainstreaming of the functions of the Uganda warehouse receipt system into the ministry responsible for trade would require staff formerly under the service of Uganda warehouse receipt system to apply for career opportunities that would be advertised internally in the ministry. Therefore, they are going to give the current staff the first priority. The minister also informed the committee that the first priority for consideration of applicants for career opportunities advertised internally would be given to the current staff of the Uganda Warehouse Receipt System Authority. Recommendations of the committee recommends that since the savings from the mainstreaming of Uganda Warehouse Receipt System significantly outweigh the costs, and in addition to efficiency gains, government should mainstream the roles and functions of the Uganda Warehouse Receipt System into the ministry responsible for trade. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Chair. Honorable Mpaka. So can we get the other reports also and we debate concurrently?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Report of the Sectoral Committee on Tourism Industry and Trade on Free Zones Amendment Bill 2024. Right Honorable Speaker, I think for the interest of time, I can go straight to the findings and observations. That is page 6. Uganda Free Zones Authority. The Uganda Free Zones Authority is a regulatory agency established in line with the East African Community Partner States' commitment to develop free zones for the purposes of accelerating development through creating an enabling environment for the production of export competitive goods as envisaged under Article 75 and 76 of the treaty and Articles 29, 31 and 32 of the East African Community Customs Union Protocol and regulations thereof, export promotion zones and free and FP ops. Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the roles of free zones are on page 6 and 7. Allow me to go straight to the observations on page 10. Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, we are going to save 9.533 billion by merging Uganda Free Zones Authority with Uganda Export Promotions Authority. From the foregoing table on page 10, the committee notes that the total cost implication of the merger of Uganda Free Zones Authority and Uganda Export Promotions Board, government would make a net saving of up to 9.533 billion during the financial year 2024-25, and net saving expected to increase to 10.446 billion in the financial year 2025-26. Observations of the committee, the proposal by government to merge Uganda Free Zones Authority and Uganda Export Promotion Board into a single entity called Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority under the supervision of the ministry responsible for trade is a positive move towards addressing the mischief of duplication of roles. The committee now observes that the mandates and functions of the two agencies are complementary in nature, that the two agencies are both involved in fostering export development and promotion, and their reorganization would improve response time and coordination and cohesion. Implications of the merger, staff structure. The committee observes that 16 staff of Uganda Free Zones Authority would be laid off, and this would therefore attract 913 million as a one-off payment as terminal benefits in the financial year 24-25. The allocation of 913 million is an indication that government is willing and ready to gracefully terminate the services of the 16 staff of Uganda Free Zones Authority, and this would limit unnecessary litigation on the same matter. The issues raised by Uganda Free Zones Authority in objection to the merger and the observations of the committee. Uganda Free Zones Authority stated that it is a regulatory agency anchored in the Treaty for Establishment of the East African Community Protocol, The committee analyzed the Treaty for Establishment of the East African Community and found that it does not list Free Zones Authority or any such other organization as an organ or institution of the community. However, the committee notes that Article 29 and 31 of the Protocol on Establishment of the East African Customs Union empowers each partner state to establish export processing zones and specialized economic zones. Export promotion zones and specialized economic zones across partner states focus on contributing to building strong export-led economic development through industrialization. The EPZ and SEZ provide a number of specific incentives for investors operating within them, which include fiscal and non-fiscal incentives, including corporate tax holidays, duty, and VAT exemptions. The EPZ and SEZ are governed under the East African Community Customs Union regulations, where in Regulation 6 empowers member states of the East African community to establish a competent authority to develop, coordinate, and oversee operations within the export processing zones. The regulation does not direct a partner state on the nature of authority to be established. The discretion is given to the partner state to determine how best the EPZ and SEZ are established, managed, and run. In Uganda, these areas are referred to as free zones, while in Kenya, Tanzania, and Burundi, it's called a special economic zone. Therefore, the determination of the nature of the entity that manages and runs the EPZ and SEZ is left to the discretion of member states. This means that the government is free to establish any entity it deems that will operate and manage the SEZ and EPZ as it deems fit, and therefore finds no merit in the above justification not to merge Uganda Free Zones Authority with the Uganda Export Promotions Board. 2, that the free zones should belong to the sector that deals with fiscal matters and not trade as proposed by the bill. 3, that the substitution of the Minister of Finance, because this export promotion zones has been under finance, is now going to trade. These were the arguments raised by free zones, that the substitution that the Minister of Finance for with Minister of Trade in clause 45C will transfer the Minister to the Minister of Trade fiscal responsibilities. The committee summarizes this argument moved against the merger to mean that Uganda Free Zones Authority cannot be transferred from Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Comparatives. The establishment and functioning of government agencies is a preserve of the executive, whose mandate is prescribed in Article 111(2) of the Constitution as follows. The functions of the cabinet shall be to determine, formulate and implement the policy of government and to perform such other functions as may be conferred by this Constitution or any other law. The transfer of Uganda Free Zones Authority is therefore an exercise of the executive functions of government. Furthermore, the committee has examined the purpose for and functions of the Uganda Free Zones Authority and established in Article 29 and 31 of the Protocol on establishment of the East African Community Customs, the East African Community Customs Union regulations, and the East African Customs Management Act, and is of the considered opinion that the EPZ and SEZ are not a physical tool as alleged, but an industrialization and export promotion measure aimed at building strong export-led economic development through industrialization. The East African Community Customs Union regulations guide on the functions of EPZ in Regulation 7 to include, among others, the promotion of forward and backward linkages of industries in the export processing zones of partner states. The functions of the Uganda Free Zones Authority will fall within the ambit of the industrialization, a matter that is managed by the ministry responsible for trade and industry. The committee also had a benefit of perusing similar laws in the East African community and is of the considered opinion that similar bodies in member states of East Africa are not supervised by the ministry responsible for finance, but the ministry responsible for industrialization. For instance, in Kenya, the specialized economic zones are supervised by the means of the cabinet secretary, for the time being responsible for matters related to industrialization, which falls within the ministry responsible for trade here in Uganda, and several other examples there. The committee has examined the arguments of Uganda Free Zones Authority not to be merged with the Uganda Export Promotions Board, and is of the considered opinion that this argument does not have merit. Page 14, that the merger would vary functions of competent authority in disregard of Article 39(2) of the Customs Union Protocol, which states that custom laws shall apply equally. The committee has examined the issue above and is of the considered opinion that this also does not have merit. It seems that the argument that Clause 49, which proposes to amend Section 13 of the Uganda Free Zones Authority, Free Zones Act, to increase functions of Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority, will infringe on Article 39 of the Customs Union. This argument is premised on the view that the Free Zones Act is a physical legislation which is supposed to apply to all East African countries uniformly. The committee notes that Article 39 of the Customs Union Protocol, as stated in the Free Zones Authority, outlines the custom laws of the Union to include, they are there, A, B, C, D, and F. The committee further notes the above list does not include Free Zones Act of Uganda or any such legislation from member states of East Africa. This means that the Free Zones Act of Uganda is not envisaged to be among the custom laws of the East African Community since it is not listed in Article 39. The committee understands that there is an argument being made to increase increase of the functions of Uganda Free Zones Authority as proposed in Clause 49, Paragraph B is irregular. Also holds no merit since Regulation 7 of the East African Community Customs Union regulations only prescribes the principal functions of the competent authority. This does not preclude the assignment of additional functions to the authority. Indeed, Regulation 7.1h allows the assignment of additional functions to the competent authority. The regulation provides that the authority may perform any other function as may be incidental or conducive to the attainment of the objectives of the customs union or the exercise of the powers under these regulations. 5, the committee therefore finds that this provision allows government to assign additional functions to the proposed, as proposed in the bill. 5, that the proposed merger between Uganda Free Zones Authority and Uganda Export Promotions Board will present challenges of practical implementation leading to misalignment with the East African Community Treaty protocols, policies, laws, and regulations to which Uganda is a signatory. That the merging Uganda Free Zones Authority and Uganda Export Promotions Board will further disrupt Uganda's engagement in the regional, continental, global specific zones, economic zones ecosystem as a result of inconsistencies in the institutional work. 7, that further still it will lead to a creation of an institution which is convoluted with adequate roles, clarity, and with inadequate role clarity, and an identity crisis because there exist significant differences as a result of legal commitments Uganda has made to the East African Community level between the customs territory and gazetted customs areas outside the customs territory. Firstly, the committee finds that Article 29 and 31 of the Protocol on Establishment of the East African Community Customs Union empowers each partner state to establish export processing zones and special economic zones. Uganda Free Zones Authority and Uganda Export Promotions Board can easily fall within the categories of bodies envisaged in Article 29 and 31 since they are intended to build strong export-led economic development through industrialization. The committee also notes that Article 25 of the Customs Union Protocol empowers partner states to design and support export promotion schemes in the community for the purposes of accelerating development, promoting and facilitating export-oriented investments, producing export competitive goods, developing and enabling environment for export promotion schemes and attracting foreign direct investment. This means that Uganda Export Promotions Board and Uganda Free Zones Authority are not mutually exclusive and can perform similar and complementary functions, hence the need to merge them into one body. Right, Honorable Speaker, for the interest of time, the committee therefore finds merging Export Promotions Board and Free Zones Authority is permissible and the merger will not lead to the creation of an institution which is convoluted with inadequate role clarity and an identity crisis. The committee therefore recommends that the Uganda Free Zones Authority and Uganda Export Promotions Board be merged into one entity called the Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority under the supervision of the ministry responsible for trade. I beg to submit.
Thank you, sir. Chair. The last one.
On the Uganda Export Promotions Board Act, repeal Bill 2024. For the interest of time, since we are merging into the with the Free Zones Authority, allow me to go to the observations of the committee. The committee observes that the proposed merger of Export Promotions Board and Uganda Free Zones Authority will facilitate effective and efficient service delivery by clearly delineating the functions and mandates of the two agencies, therefore avoiding duplications of mandates, which is one of the objectives of the merger. The committee further observes that the merger would reduce and eliminate bloated structures and functional ambiguities of the two agencies. The committee is also alive to the information that the estimated total cost of Uganda Export Promotions Board Bill 2024 will be 289 million in form of terminal benefits for the staff to laid off, and this cost would be accommodated within the medium-term expenditure ceiling of the Ministry of Public Service. The committee also observes that the net savings accruing out of the merger of the Uganda Export Promotions Board and the Uganda Free Zones Authority would be 6.227 billion in the first year of the merge. Financial 2024-25, this would increase to 6.516 billion in the subsequent financial year 2025-26 as indicated below. Honorable members and Right Honorable Speaker, merging these two entities would save us 6.516 billion in the long run. Issues raised by Uganda Export Promotions Board in objection to the merger and observations of the committee. Export Promotions Board had one issue, the name of the new authority. The Executive Director of Uganda Export Promotions Board informed the committee that he had no objections to the merger of Uganda Free Zones Authority and the Uganda Export Promotions Board into one single entity, but was only concerned on the proposed name of the new entity. The ED, I think his main concern was, this was just power struggle. They wanted it to be called Export Promotion instead of Uganda Free Zones. The committee finds no merit in this argument since this is simply a nomenclature and an arrangement of the name of the proposed new entity. The committee recommendations. The committee therefore recommends that the Uganda Export Promotions Board Promotions Act Cap 102 be repealed and merge the Uganda Export Promotions Board and Uganda Free Zones Authority into one entity called the Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority under the supervision of the ministry responsible for trade. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. We've heard from 3 bills. And now we'll open the bills to debate if there is any. If there is any clarification that you need to get from the chair. Yes, Your Honorable Enos, you specify on which bill you...
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My concern is on warehousing, the report on warehousing system. First and foremost...
Where receipt system?
Yes. When you look at the report, they're talking about the methodology. I will start with the methodology. The committee never consulted the other stakeholders in the warehousing systems. First and foremost, the warehousing system authority works with banks, works with farmers groups, works with warehouse owners. And these ones were never consulted on the impact of having the authority back to the ministry. Number 2, Madam Chair, if you go to the principles of the bill, I'll look at the duplication. When we talk about the warehousing system, why was the bill in place in the first place? Our target was that we should help farmers store their goods, run to the banks if they need support, banks finance them, as they wait for the warehousing authority or government to get them off-takers. Madam Speaker, sorry, if we, in reality, there is no other entity that does that. So I don't find any duplication in that, because we are saying we should rationalize agencies that have duplication roles. There is no other entity that does that. Number 2, Madam Speaker, when we go to the policy, the warehousing authority, which is also a subvention actually of Ministry of Trade, is more of a regulator. It's not an implementer, it's not anything else. It's regulating the industry of warehousing system. So if we get a regulator and we put them under the ministry, that I think there will be a conflict. You cannot be the implementing ministry, then be the regulator of the whole sector. So I think it's not in good faith to actually rationalize this agency. Number 3, Madam Speaker, when we talk about the underperformance, the report is talking about running of the agency not being, because it has been licensed since 2015. I think since 2005, but up to now they have only licensed 4 warehouses. I don't think the committee also did they did good research. At the start, actually this agency has been in operation since 2018. from 2005 when the law was enacted until 2018, the ministry had given the mandate to Uganda Stock Exchange, which Uganda Securities and Stock Exchange never materialized. So all the first 10 years or so, the agency was not in operation. It was the ministry directly dealing with Uganda Stock Exchange. So since 2018 until now, it's when the actual authority was inactive and, of course, under the ministry. So I think even the inefficiencies is because the ministry tried to run the warehousing system itself, and it failed, and eventually it followed the law and put the authority. So I think it's premature for us to rational housing system authority for now. Thank you so much, Madam.
Let the chair first respond to.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The Honourable Member states that it's not fair to judge the performance of Uganda Warehouse Receipt System. But Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, we are the ones who supervise this authority. We have just told you they have been doing activities outside their mandate. They are not supposed to be constructing warehouses, constructing stores, but they have been doing it. We have just told you that they are keeping money, even after the financial year has ended, on their accounts and appropriating for themselves. This is a clear indication that there is poor governance in this institution. He also talked about not consulting farmers in the country, different stakeholders, including farmers. Right, Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, this is a government policy shift. This is like UCDA, the merge of UCDA, and you tell us you are going to invite all the farmers of this country to do consultations. These bills were gazetted. We had a select committee that interacted with the various stakeholders, and we believe we have done efficient work in as far as analyzing the performance of Uganda Warehouse Receipt System.
And honourable members, one thing that Enos should know, that a very competent team here, headed by none other than Honourable Nathan, had a meeting and met stakeholders of all these institutions. And as I said, we are in agreement to a tune of 70% with what government is bringing. The rest that we are not in agreement, that's why you need to put a lot of your energy. Yes, Buzaya.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the chairperson.
And on some of the things that are direct, don't take a lot of your time.
It's okay, Madam Chair. Right Honourable Speaker, when I heard the chair say that they have been giving these people money and they have not been using it well, and he has been the chairperson of the committee who has been presenting ministerial statements on this floor of Parliament, it perturbs my understanding, Right Honourable Speaker.
A chairperson of...
Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, the Trade Committee has never appropriated money to Warehouse Receipt System to carry out activities beyond their mandate. However, they somehow get this money through supplementaries and other means, but not through the Trade Committee of this Parliament.
Shadow Attorney General, honourable members, let's not debate on issues that, because appropriation is done by you and me and everybody. So if there are people are getting money through other ways, don't blame the committee. That's one of the most competent committees. Yes.
The motion, Madam Speaker, that the House resolves and goes to committee stage.
Move your motion.
Motion. Honourable members, I beg to move a motion that the House do resolve and goes to committee stage.
Thank you. Seconded by Professor, by Solo, by Salim, by Mbwa, by Jonas, David, Anifa, by the whole house. Thank you. Honorable members, Honorable Mr. Kema. Honorable members, in terms of quorum, we have 131 physically and 60 virtual, meaning we have the quorum. I now, honorable members, put a question that the Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024 be read for the second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage.
We are going to the next one first. The motion was for the three. Honorable members, we have the Uganda Export Promotion Board Act Repeal Bill 2024. And the quorum still stands. I now put a question that the Uganda Export Promotion Board Act Repeal Bill 2024 be read for the second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. We have the Free Zone Amendment Bill. The quorum still stands. I put a question that the Free Zone Amendment Bill 2024 be read for the second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage. Clause 1.
Clause 1, I put a question that Clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I put a question that Clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that Clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that Clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I put a question that Clause 5 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I put a question that Clause 6 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I put a question that Clause 7 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I put a question that Clause 8 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I put a question that Clause 9 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I put a question that Clause 10 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 11.
I put a question that Clause 11 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 12.
Clause 12, I put a question. I put a question that clause 12 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I put a question that clause 13 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I put a question that clause 14 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 15.
I put a question that clause 15 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 16.
I put a question that clause 16 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 17.
I put a question that clause 17 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 18.
Clause 18, I put a question that clause 18 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 19.
I put a question that clause 19 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 20.
I put a question that clause 20 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 21.
I put a question. 21.
Clause 21, Right Honourable
Chair.
Speaker. Clause 21 is amended by inserting immediately after paragraph B the following. C in subsection 2 by substituting the word section 33 of the Insurance Act, the word section 45 of the Insurance Act 2017. The justification is to make reference to the correct provisions of the law, since at the time of the enactment of the Warehouse Receipt Systems Act 2006, the relevant provision was section 33 of the Insurance Act Cap 2013. However, in 2017, Parliament repealed and replaced the Insurance Act Cap 213 Cap 213 with Insurance Act 2017.
Honorable members, Margaret, honorable members, I am going to record the people who are in this house, and I will give it to your boss. We are dealing with the bills. Honorable Bua, maybe you need to re-echo to your members. I am not going to be a presiding officer as well as a whip. You guys should be in the house. One of your roles is to legislate. And when you're doing legislation, you're passing bills. And when you're passing the bills, we need a quorum in the house. If we are not going to respect the issue of the quorum, then don't come to Parliament.
I have a clarification. There are committees going on.
And I want all the committees that are sitting to come to the house.
Right Honourable Chair, earlier on we thought that the Committee on Finance and that on Budget were sitting, but we established that both were not. If there is any committee sitting, we shall definitely comply with your directive and have them in the House. Honourable colleagues, I want to re-echo what I stated yesterday, that under Rule 112 of the Rules of Procedure, we are under obligation, and the rule uses the word shall, which means it is mandatory, primarily for all of us to be in the House. That is Rule 112. And if you are not going to be in the House, you must be granted permission by the Right Honourable Speaker, not even the whips. It is only in exceptional circumstances under Sub-Rule 5 where the whip of a political party may inform the Speaker of a member's absence and the circumstances leading to such absence. May I rally my honorable members of the National Resistance Movement. First of all, I want to thank those who are in the House. You can see that the side of the National Resistance Movement has very little space, implying we have complied. So, Right Honorable Chair, I will inform my team to move to all the meeting rooms within the institution of Parliament to ensure that any committee that is currently meeting must respect the directive of the Right Honourable Chair. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much. I only gave permission to Honorable Kato Muhammad, Honorable Margaret, who lost a parent, Honorable John Faith Magolo. Those are the ones I gave permission. Clause 21. Honorable Minister. Clause 21.
Madam Chair, I concur with the amendment by the Chair.
Thank you. AG.
I'm in agreement.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 21 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 21 as amended.
I put a question that clause 21 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 22.
I put a question that clause 22 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 23.
Clause 23, I put a question that clause 23 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 24.
I put a question that clause 24 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. Ayes have it.
Clause 25.
I put a question that clause 25 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 26.
I put a question that clause 26 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 27.
I put a question that clause 27 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 28.
I put a question that clause 28 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 29.
I put a question that clause 29 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 30.
I put a question that clause 30 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 31.
I put a question that clause 31 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 32.
I put a question that clause 32 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 33.
I put a question that clause 33 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 34.
I put a question that clause 34 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 35.
I put a question that clause 35 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 36.
Clause 36. I put a question that clause 36 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 37.
I put a question that clause 37 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 38.
I put a question that clause 38 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 39.
Chair.
Clause 39.
Please remember to log in when you're coming in.
Clause 39 is substituted for the following. Section 75 of the Act 14 of 2006 is amended by substituting for subsection 2 the following. 2. The minister may, by statutory instrument, amend the third schedule to this Act. The justification is that it is a consequential amendment given that the second schedule and the board are repealed. Clause 40 of the bill seeks to repeal the second schedule of the Act, and therefore any reference to the second schedule would be inconsequential.
Minister.
I concur with this consequential amendment by the chairperson of the
AG.
committee.
I'm in agreement, Right Honourable.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 39 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 39 as amended.
I put a question that clause 39 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 40.
I put a question that clause 40 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 41.
I put a question that clause 41 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto.
Thank you. I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the whole House has considered the bill entitled the Warehouse Receipts System Amendment Bill 2024 and passed it with amendments.
Thank you.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that a report from the Committee of the whole House be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the whole House be adopted by this August House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Bills third reading. The Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024.
My quorum still stands of 191. Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass.
I put a question that the Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Warehouse Receipt System Amendment Act 2024.
The bill, title settled and the bill is passed. Thank you and congratulations.
The Free Zones Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage. Clause 1.
I put a question that clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I put a question that clause 5 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I put a question that clause 6 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I put a question that clause 7 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I put a question that clause 8 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I put a question that clause 9 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I put a question that clause 10 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 11.
I put a question that clause 11 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 12.
I put a question that clause 12 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I put a question that clause 13 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto.
I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the whole House has considered the bill entitled the Free Zones Amendment Bill 2024 and passed it without amendments.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that a report from the Committee of the whole House be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the whole House be adopted by this House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading, the Free Zones Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Free Zones Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass.
My quorum still stands at 191. I put a question that the Free Zones Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Free Zones Amendment Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill passed. Congratulations to the committee and the whole House. Thank you.
The Uganda Export Promotions Board Repeal Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage. Clause 1.
I put a question that clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
You're even so tired to say aye.
Clause 5.
I put a question that clause 5 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto.
I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the whole House has considered the bill entitled the Uganda Export Promotions Board Act Repeal Bill 2024 and passed it without amendments.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that a report from the Committee of the whole House be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the whole House be adopted by this august House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading. The Uganda Export Promotions Board Act Repeal Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Uganda Export Promotions Board Act Repeal Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass.
Quorum still stands 191. I put a question that the Uganda Export Promotion Board Act Repeal Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Uganda Export Promotions Board Repeal Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill passed. Congratulations, the Minister and the committee members and the members of Parliament. Next item.
Bill second reading. The Uganda Wildlife Amendment Bill 2024.
You're not ready? You're ready. Honorable Minister, can you move the motion to that effect? Honorable Minister, move a motion.
Speaker, I beg to move that the Uganda Wildlife Amendment Bill be read the second time. I beg to move.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Is the bill seconded? Is the motion seconded by Attorney General, by elders, by Sanon, Honorable Lanyo, by the LOB, by emeritus commissioners, all emeritus commissioners, by doctor. by Aguti, by Dr. Christine, Anifa, Honorable Emigu, Honorable Okot, Honorable Emmanuel, Honorable Mariam, Honorable Sauda, Honorable Erika, Honorable Margaret, Mbwa, Mpindi, Masava, Solo, Rita. Now that tells you that I know all your names. By the whole house. Thank you. Would you love to speak to your motion?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the purpose of this bill is to confer to Uganda Wildlife Authority additional functions of the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center established by the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Act 2015, thereby relieving government of the financial drain on its resources and the burden of wasteful administration and expenditure by maintaining two agencies whose functions may be performed by one agency. It is a merger, and when you merge, one agency subsumes the other, and really that is the main purpose. I beg to move.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Could you move a motion for the other bill too?
The Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Act Repeal Bill 2024.
I beg to move that the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Act Bill 2024 be read the second time. I beg to move.
Thank you. Seconded. It's seconded by the government chief whip. You've seconded. The whole house has seconded. This is a very direct bill. Very direct. You have already spoken to it, that you just, okay.
Madam Speaker, the intention of the bill is to repeal the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Center Act 2015 to enable the merger between Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center and the Uganda Wildlife Authority in order to give effect to the government policy for rationalization of government agencies and public expenditure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. It is a merger between UWEP and Uganda Wild Authority and the UWEC. My son was asking me, what is UWEC? And I was telling them the zoo where you always go. The zoo where you go. So can we have a report, a brief report?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I beg to lay the report of the committee. The report of the Secretary Committee of...
Enos, do you have a procedure matter?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My procedure matter, Madam Speaker, has a lot to do with we are now rationalizing entities that were acting as regulators of most of these sectors. I would like the ministers in charge to guide us. Once these agencies are rationalized or mainstreamed, what will happen to the sectors? Who will be regulating? How can you be the implementer and then you become the regulator? How will they be doing that? So I was seeking clarification or whether it's procedurally right to actually rationalize agencies that have been regulating some of those sectors.
Okay, let's first hear the report Then you can answer. Answer. He's smuggling in the debate, and I will close the debate. And Mzee, answer.
Madam Speaker.
I'm sorry, Honorable, answer.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in this particular case, the role of Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center and the role of Uganda Wildlife Authority, the roles are really complementary. And therefore, merging them, one subsuming the other, is a mere consolidation, but the roles remain the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable, can we have a report?
And Madam Speaker, it is not Uganda Wildlife Authority which regulates Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center or vice versa. So they are completely different, but the purpose is really to merge. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, let's get a report. You're legislating in anticipation. In anticipation. Honorable, I want you to read your rules that you never debate on anticipation.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I beg to lay the report of the Sectoral Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industry on the Uganda Wildlife Amendment Bill 2024. I also beg to lay the report of the Sectoral Committee on Tourism, Trade, Industry on the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Act Repeal Bill 2024. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, the report of the Sectoral Committee on Tourism, Trade, Industry on the Uganda Wildlife Amendment Bill 2024. Right Honourable Speaker, for the interest of time, allow me to go to page 6. The government is going to save 15.166 billion through this merger, and we are going to incur a one-off total cost of only 1.334 billion as terminal benefits to be paid to staff who will be affected upon the merger of Uganda Wildlife Conservation Center with Uganda Wildlife Authority, and the government has already accommodated the aforementioned cost within the medium-term expenditure framework ceiling for the Ministry of Public Service during the financial year 2024-25. That both WHO and WEC played key complementary roles and functions in the promotion and development of tourism, conservation of wildlife and related ecosystems, which roles and functions had associated risks of functional overlaps and duplication. 3, that the additional functions and roles conferred upon Uganda Wildlife Authority would lead to a stronger institutional capacity in terms of reporting mechanisms and structures, and improvement in financial management practices for wildlife conservation activities. The additional functions would as well lead to improved communication, collaboration, enhanced monitoring and evaluation programs, effectiveness and sustainability of wildlife conservation and education efforts in Uganda. That the bill, once acted into law, would enable centralized control over wildlife conservation and education activities and putting in place standardized policies and procedures, clear chain of command, enhanced coordination and collaboration, and would lead to improved service delivery through providing unified conservation and education programs, streamlining visitor services, enhancing conservation outreach, improving wildlife protection measures, optimizing administrative expenses and processes, investing in infrastructure and technology, and promoting capacity building. Recommendation of the committee. The committee recommends that the Uganda Wildlife Authority be amended to confer on Uganda Wildlife Authority additional functions because of the merger with Uganda Wildlife Conservation Center, in order to give effect to the government policy on rationalization of government agencies and public expenditure, and for related purposes. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Chair. Next report.
Report of the Sectoral Committee on Tourism, Trade, Industry on the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Act Repeal Bill 2024. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members. Page 6. Like we had said earlier, the merger, we are going to save 15.166 billion. From the foregoing, government will generate net savings of about 15.166 billion in the financial year 2024-2025. This will increase to 16.6 billion in the financial 25-26. The net savings generated outweigh the expenditure on terminal benefits for laid-off staff, amounting to 1.334 billion and a one-off. The committee observes that the proposed merger will improve on efficiency as communication between the two agencies will be easier and monitoring and evaluation will be more sustainable. Furthermore, the committee observes that the proposed merger will enable centralized control over wildlife activities and putting in place standardized policies and procedures. The committee also observes that the merger of the two agencies would facilitate effective and efficient service delivery by avoiding duplication of mandates and functions. Recommendations of the committee. The committee recommends that Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Act 2015 be repealed in order to give effect to the government policy on rationalization of government agencies and public expenditure, and for related matters, I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, honorable members. You've had a report, and it's basically a merger between UWEC and wildlife, and it's as direct as it is. On a motion? There's a motion from Isaac.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just as you stated, this is a direct forward bill. The duties still remain the same of conservation. I would like to move that the House moves to the committee stage to consider this bill. Thank you.
Seconded. Seconded by Lamwaka, by everybody. It's a direct thing. Yes. Honorable members, will still take the same quorum of 191. I put a question that Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Act Repeal Bill 2024 be read the second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Act Repeal Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage. Clause 1.
I put a question that clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I put a question that clause 5 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I put a question that clause 6 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto. I beg to move.
I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill entitled the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center, Bill 2024, and passed it. I beg to move. Without amendments, I beg to move.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister.
I beg to move that the House adopts the report of the Committee of the Whole House. I beg to move.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted by this Honorable August House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading. The Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Act, Repeal Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center, Bill 2024, be read the third time and do pass. I beg to move.
I put a question that the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Act, repeal, 2024, be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center Repeal Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill passed. Congratulations, Minister and the committee. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, we obviously did not, as we had thought, have chance to debate the report of the 9-man team led by the Honourable Nathan Byanyima, so that we generally address some of these issues. But I thought I should make this quick comment now that we have merged UA and Uganda Wildlife Conservation.
We've not yet merged.
Well, we are moving in that direction. I just want to emphasize and to appeal to government, because some of these individual entities have got challenges, inefficiencies, as we have seen reported in the press, fraud and so on, and these are being handled by our accountability committees. Merging the entity will not deal with inefficiencies for as long as we don't deal with human resource. Have the right man or woman for the job, supervise them to make sure they're doing what is expected of them. Otherwise, we shall be merging problems. And that's why, as I was saying, a general discussion would have been good, but we have moved. So we need to deal with those situations. Otherwise, you'll merge problem A and problem B, and you have a bigger problem. So I hope that government gets to be cognizant of those issues.
Those are the issues that were raised and they were already answered in this house. So it is basically repeating the same thing that was raised in this house, and those are the principles that were said, that as you do merge, hope you're not taking a problem from, and Professor talked about this. So Lope is basically repeating what Professor said. Yes, Honorable Finance.
Allow me, Madam Speaker, I wanted to congratulate Colonel Tom Butime upon succeeding. You know the trouble we had at the beginning. And maybe for those of you who don't know Colonel Butime, one of the NRA soldiers who trained in Libya. But the one particular thing I wanted to use to give assurance to Parliament, one of the few principled Ugandans, when they appointed him Minister for Karamoja,
and he refused.
From that day, he has my respect. So I am sure that he will, once these things have been merged under his stewardship, he will do the job that we expect. So I congratulate him, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much. Honorable members, that is a very, very good compliment for Honorable Tom Mutime. And thank you for being principled. Next.
The Uganda Wildlife Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage. Clause 1.
I put a question that clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
I put a question that clause 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I put a question that clause 5 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I put a question that clause 6 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I put a question that clause 7 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I put a question that clause 8 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto. I beg to move.
I put a question that the House does resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the whole House.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to report that the Committee of the whole House has considered the bill entitled the Uganda Wildlife Amendment Bill 2024 and has been passed. I beg to report.
Thank you.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the whole House.
Honorable Minister.
I beg to move that the House adopts the report of the Committee of the whole House. I beg to move.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted by this Honorable House. Those in favor say aye and contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading, the Uganda Wildlife Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the bill entitled Uganda Wildlife Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. I beg to move.
Thank you. The quorum still stands at 191. I put a question that Uganda Wildlife Amendment Bill 2024 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Uganda Wildlife Amendment Act 2024.
Title settled and the bill passed. Congratulations, Honorable Butime and the committee and the whole House.
The Uganda National Meteorological Authority Amendment Bill 2024.
Is the chair in? Who are members of the committee? Natural Resources. Christine, can you, the report is uploaded. Do you have a report? I can give you a copy. Who are members of the committee? You have no minority report? You're in agreement with the report? Honorable Minister, can you move a motion?
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled Meteorological Authority be read for the second time. I beg to move.
Read the title of the bill.
I beg to move, Right Honorable Speaker, that the bill entitled Uganda National Meteorological Authority Amendment Bill 2024 be read for the second time. I beg to move.
Thank you. Seconded. Sit seconded. Seconded. Seconded by Joyce Mitiana, Alan Nakaseke, Butaleja, Amoti, Ferigo, Anywa, Atiang, Ntoroko, Mbarara. I'm mentioning those that have not been mentioning. By Max, Imam, by Bushenyi, Annette, by Kirihora, by I've seen even Kamuli. Kivalia is there also, seconding. Magogo, Varunji, Aroboy, Aru. Honorable members, what's wrong with the Magogo seconding? By Honorable Magogo Salongo of Budiope East. Can you speak to you?
Right Honorable Speaker, the honorable members, this bill, Chair, no, Honorable Speaker, this bill will enable mainstreaming and rationalization of agencies, and this will help to save the financial drain and the expenditures which are wasteful. It will also facilitate efficiency and effective service delivery by clearly saving a lot of wastage. And this will avoid also the duplication of the mandates and functions. And therefore, Right Honourable Speaker, I beg that this bill be supported. Thank you.
Thank you. For these ones, let's look at one by one. Let's first finish this, then we shall go to triple hunting. So, can you present a report? Summarize and present.
Thank you, Right Honourable Chair and honourable colleagues. Right Honourable Speaker, I'm sorry, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you.
There's a procedure.
Right Honourable Speaker, according to Rule 130 of our Rules of Procedure, when a report is called and the chairperson is not present or the minister, the Speaker can designate any member of the committee to present the report. Right Honourable Speaker, you did Christine Kaya to present the report because the chair was not around. Is it procedurally right for the chair now to come and hijack in contravention of Rule 130, sub-rule 2 of our Rules of Procedure?
Honorable Member, to the best of my knowledge, my chair of the committee is in the House. And I can see him here. So let him go ahead. And he's just going to summarize. Why are you causing violence in the House?
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for your wise ruling. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to recognize that the Honourable Asumani, since our times at Makerere, has always been a calm person.
Is that in the report?
That,
can you summarize for us the report?
Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay on table the report of the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources on the National Meteorological Authority Amendment Bill 2024. Together with the report, I'm laying on table the minutes of the proceedings therefrom.
Thank you.
Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, as per your guidance, I'm going to summarize. On page 3, we give the background of how this bill came about when it was laid on the floor of Parliament here. On page 4, we present the object of the bill.
Arrow boy, we still need you inside.
And on the same page, Right Honorable Speaker, we give the details of the mandate of the Uganda National Meteorological Authority. That goes up to page 6. And on that page 6, we talk about compliance of the bill to the National Development Plan 3, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. On page 7, we lay the methodology and the limitations that we faced as a committee. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, allow me now to go to page 8, which is committee analysis, observations, and recommendations. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, this part of the report will examine the proposed clauses of the bill, their constitutionality and relevance in light of existing laws and policy on rationalization and the mischief they intend to cure. The examination is structured around the thematic areas outlined in the bill. On bullet 8.1, mainstreaming of the functions of the Uganda National Meteorological Authority into the ministry responsible for matters relating to meteorology. Purpose of amendment of Act 11 of 2012. The purpose of amending the Uganda National Meteorological Authority Act 2012, Act 11 of 2012, as stated in Clause 3, is to mainstream the functions of the Uganda National Meteorological Authority established under the Act into the ministry responsible for matters relating to meteorology. Committee observations. 1, that UNMA, or Uganda National Meteorological Authority, is a specialized nature, and we want to talk about this. The committee noted that the Uganda National Meteorological Authority was created by UNMA Act of 2012 and commenced in January 2014. Prior to this, meteorological services were provided for under the first East African Community until 1977, and thereafter, the services moved to 7 different ministries at different times. These were as follows. Ministry of Finance between 1977 and 1978. Ministry of Transport and Communication, 1978 to 1979. Ministry of Aviation and Communication, 1979-1980. Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, 1992. Ministry of Environment Protection, 1992 to 1995. Ministry of Lands, Water and Environment, 1995 to 2010. Ministry of Water and Environment, 2010 to 2015. 2015. And then back again now, according to the proposal. The proposal is seeking to have it back in Ministry of Water and Environment. The committee noted that meteorological data is highly specialized, yet used to serve a multiplicity of purposes, which contributed to its being domiciled in several ministries before it landed in the Ministry of Water and Environment under the Department of Meteorology. It is therefore here that the functions of the Department of Meteorology transition to Uganda National Meteorological Authority after the passing of the Act, the 2012 Act. The committee further noted that the bill aims to facilitate efficient and effective service delivery by clearly delineating the mandates and functions of government agencies and departments and thereby avoiding duplication of mandates and functions. The report that guided the rationalization process indicates that the mandate of the Department of Meteorology under the Ministry of Water and Environment is duplicated by UNIMA in regard to monitoring weather and climate conditions and tendering technical advice for safe and economic air navigations, agricultural planning, water resource management, and natural disaster management. The committee, however, noted that no evidence of this duplication was adduced, and the unique nature of NEMA's roles emphasized the need for UNIMA to be an independent entity. The committee noted that UNIMA's roles are specialized and specific, not duplicated at the ministry. It is therefore important to retain UNIMA as an autonomous institution while the ministry focuses on development of policies. 2, meteorology is an essential service. The committee observed that a service is considered essential if such a service
Right Honourable Speaker, I rise on a procedural matter, and I was really constrained because the Honourable Tala Emmanuel is my brother from Tororo. Right Honourable Speaker, the procedural matter I'm raising, you guided very well the chair of the committee to summarize, because we have had this report, we have read. Is it procedurally right Honourable Speaker, for the chair to again go against your guidance and read point by point and full stop when we are waiting for the summary and then we discuss the report? Right Honourable Speaker.
Let the chair finish his report.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honourable, for your guidance. I was on point number 2, where my committee stated that meteorology is an essential service, and allow me to repeat that the committee observed that a service is considered essential if such a service is critical to preserving life, health, public safety, and basic societal functioning. Meteorological is an essential service as per the 6th schedule of the Public Service Negotiating, Consultative, and Dispute Settlement Machinery Act of 2008. The committee noted that UNIMA, as a national meteorological and hydrological service, is key in all these areas. Meteorological services, whether direct or indirect, or user-specific, are crucial in agriculture, aviation, construction, industries, disaster management, energy generation and supply, environment.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to UBC Lunchtime News on this 17th day of April 2024. I'm Loreen Masika Kazumoto. We start off with our first headlining story this afternoon. Premier Robina Nabanja, who is currently on a working visit